Hi everyone. Oh, this is I guess I'd call this part 4 of today's vlog. The last video was part 3 and I didn't put a part 3. That's how tired I was. I just wasn't thinking about it, and by the time I realized that it was uploading, I was like, "Oh shoot. Oh well." It's all right. Hopefully I'll be able to I just did all the work I'm going to do tonight and just went to bed and got like an hour's sleep, and hopefully I at least got enough to where I can eat something, exercise, come back. I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I might just go back to bed. I mean, it is, I haven't got my watch on right now, but it is like 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night, so so this whole phone thing is really, I bet this is the video that puts out I bet this is the video that stimulates a bunch of comments. I mean, everyone's going to go, "No, don't do that, don't do that." Well, what would you suggest? Here's what I'm thinking about doing, and I don't know if it's the best idea. It probably isn't, but I don't know what else to do. If AT&T is the company that works best, and no, I'm not switching from Verizon to AT&T. That's going to be a expensive freaking, I'm walking out on you, so here you go. Here's a buttload of money because I chose to walk out on you fee that I'm not willing to pay. Besides, honestly, I think that Verizon has got the best reception. I always have. I mean, for some reason, Verizon can overcome the fact that I live in an apartment building that's freaking full of cement in the walls, which, honestly, if there's any kind of fire or natural disaster or anything, I will thank God for that. I mean, if that's what protects me versus a place that would have been just wooden and just collapsed with me in the building, then bring on the concrete. But Verizon has figured out a way to circumvent that and still have good reception in this building. AT&T hasn't, but for some reason, whatever's in the building at the store, or maybe it's just that the nearest Verizon tower to that store is 86 miles away or something. I don't freaking know. All I know is my phone with Verizon does not work in that store. And it's not like I need it to work the whole time we're meeting. I need to be able to, when I get out of that meeting, I need to be able to call the door-to-door transit system and find out what's going on. I need to be able to check in with them. That's something that I do even on the most normal of circumstances, I mean, and before I get a bunch of comments that say, "Well, will it work outside? Just go outside." That's more trouble than it's worth. Okay, try putting a blindfold on and being in a store. You have to get someone to help you go outside, or go anywhere for that matter, which, well, or maybe not, but maybe eventually you can learn the layout of a place. But imagine yourself as not only blind, but in your brain, you don't have the ability to picture a place in your mind and figure out where you are versus where you need to be. That's where I am. You see, I lost my eyesight as a little teeny little thing. What happened was I was born so prematurely that you know that God had a plan for you when you were born that prematurely, teeny tiny thing, in as critical condition as a person can get without dying, and you pull through. God did not want me to not be around. But, although there was the obvious, they knew going in, from what I understand, my mother was faced with a choice, either just get a good picture in your mind of what she looks like, or maybe even take some pictures. I don't know if they could have done that in the hospital in 1979 or whatever. But hold those pictures close to your heart for the rest of your life, because that's all you're going to have of your baby. Or we could save her, but we're going to have to give her too much oxygen, and there's no way that she's going to be able to come out of there with her sight. So, of course, mother opted to, save my baby. We'll deal with the blindness. Just save her. Well, and I'm glad she did make that decision, but I think I was more than just... I think I lost more than my sight. I lost the ability... I lost at least some of the functionality of the part of the brain that understands where in space you are and where in space anything else is, and how to navigate from point A to point B. Basically, the GPS system that might be wired into people's brains, mine's toast, okay? So going outside to use a phone that doesn't work for crap inside is really not the best option for me. And as far as I'm concerned, neither is saying to my boss after every meeting, hey, can I borrow your phone to call the lift? No, she doesn't. Would she do it because she's a sweet soul and she cares about everybody she works with, staff and clients, more than the average person? Maybe. She is a sweetheart, and if you work for someone like my boss, you are truly a blessed person, because a lot of bosses don't care as much as mine does. Would she do it out of the goodness of her heart? Maybe. But do I want to depend on her every darn time we get out of a meeting? No. So what I'm thinking about doing is going to the AT&T store and just getting a prepaid phone. As cheap as I can get it. I'd be using it like weekly for the lift, probably not even to call other places necessarily. Most places I could probably call when I got on the bus and was on my way home, and I could call a lot of places on the way home, or on the way there, or the next day, whatever. But in situations where I need to call places like the lift, I'm thinking that AT&T is the best thing to do, obviously. Because really, seriously, my boss called. I gave her the number. She called. She volunteered to call. She says, I'm going to take out my phone. What's the number to this place? And I found it. And she calls it. And we're on hold waiting for a dispatcher. I'm going, okay, so you got reception and I don't. Why is that? She goes, okay, what's your carrier? I'm like, Verizon. She goes, well, that's why. I got AT&T and that works. I'm going, so AT&T sucks in my building, but it kicks ass in this building. I didn't say those exact words, And I apologize if people are offended by me saying things like this. I'm sorry. But it really does tick me off that. Anyway, I'm really thinking about going to AT&T and getting a prepaid. The cheapest I can get away with, because I'm not going to be using it that much. But just for this. And if anybody doesn't think that I should, what do you recommend? Apart from switching to AT&T or getting a second line, a whole month line that's got a $40 a month price tag on it from AT&T. There's no way in the world I'm doing that. If my boss, if my boss wanted me to have a phone that was a company phone, then we could talk about that, but I think she'd be the first one to say, I'll pay for it. It's the company. It's something for the company. I'll pay for it. But I'm not getting a monthly $40 a month line for AT&T, but I'm not going to keep using my Verizon phone to try to call the lift in that building. It's clear that it doesn't work. So, that's what I'm thinking about doing. If there's another solution, what is it? Anyway, I'm going to close out this video because I bet it has turned into some long-ass thing that I hope can even go up on this thing. I hope you've enjoyed what you've been seeing on this channel. If so, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.